sit on this table because I'm a bad back boy and I can't stand. Right, so
Definitely a bad back boy now.
have some weight sit on the table.
Maybe sit on a chair if you'd like to. That would be easier.
Right, I'll just stand over.
That could only happen then.
Right. No, I'm all good. So, I'm going to talk to you about Windows 10. So, this isn't a definitive guide, this isn't absolute, there's some definite good reasons for not upgrading to Windows 10, but with the free upgrade limit looming on the 29th, it seems like a good thing to have a chat to you about. So, I've done this in the form of the questions I've been asked and a rough approximation of how I've answered them. So, the top question is, who can upgrade? The answer is anyone with a computer with a sufficient spec and the price of a license. I often get asked then, well that's great, but what is the spec of my computer? How can I tell that? There's a list of specs here, but I have published that on the blog that went out at 1 o'clock today if you need to have a look at it, because it's just very simple step by step to check. Then I'm asked who can upgrade for free. So, users currently running Windows 7 or 8.1. If you use Windows 8, you'll need to do the free upgrade to 8.1 first. And you will need to do this before the 29th of July of this year. So, what happened to Windows 10? Why not Windows 9 is another popular question I'm asked. The reasons for this range from number 9 is considered unlucky in Japan. So we skipped it. That's what Microsoft said. Also, Microsoft employees have been cited as saying, because 7, 8, 9. It's not my joke, it's Microsoft. To the official Microsoft stance that Windows 10 represents such a leap forward in technology that we missed out 9. In my opinion, however, the Apple operating system, OS X, X being the Roman numeral for number 10, so that just makes it a little more than keeping up with the competition, basically. So what's in upgrading for you? Well, support for XP been and gone. Support for Vista ends in 2017. Mainstream support for Windows 7 ended in January of this year. And extended support will end in 2020, which that is less than 3.5 years. So it will give you a bit of longevity in your operating system. Extended support for Windows 8 will go until 2023, but why would you want that? Windows 10 is a lighter and more efficient operating system than all its predecessors. It has a good look and easy to use and get the hang of. When I say this, I'm put I like Windows 7. My answer to that is good. Windows 10 is much the same as Windows 7 with a prettier interface and slightly updated language. For example, all programs has become all apps. That sort of thing. All this, and it uses less resources, leaving you more power for your more hungrier apps. Now, on occasion, instead of I like Windows 7, I like Windows 8. What is it there? And my answer to you would be, try Windows 10. That's enough said. Yeah. I've heard bad things about Windows 10. Back in 2001, I clearly remember the very same gripes and groans about XP. And again in 2009 about Windows 7. But when Microsoft retired XP 14 years later, it was almost like a mourning. We were all well upset about it. And they are exactly the same things being said. It is slightly different, it does operate slightly different, but things move on, So do you think I should upgrade to Windows 10? Basic and simple answer, yes. Since I can remember, updating your computer's OS or operating system has been rule number 1 in keeping your computer safe and running well. Although the Windows 10 download is the best part of 4 gig unpacked, most of it is security related. And then I get asked, is upgrading hard? No. To Microsoft's credit, they really do seem to have put some thought into this process, making it as straightforward as possible if you're running Windows 7 or 8. All your files, pictures, music, etc. will not be lost, and they will be where they were. So when you go to My Pictures, they will be in My Pictures, not in some random file that you never even heard of. For the business people in the room, I get asked, do I need to upgrade my MS Office package? No, I personally upgraded computers with Office 2000 on it, and they continue to work as they should. However, if you are using a version that old, my advice would be to at least have a look at Office 365. It is without doubt the best version I've ever used, and it's available from £37.20 annually or £3.70 monthly. Will I need to get a new printer? This is highly unlikely. I have done literally hundreds of upgrades and the printer always works. But to that end, if you are thinking about doing it, I do have, on the blog I mentioned earlier, there's a list of all the printers that and their compatibility to Windows 10. Another one I get asked quite a lot, is Windows 10 spying on me? And the answer is yes. Windows 10 is designed to collect anonymous data on the usage of the OS and apps for the purposes of improvement and development in much the same way Google, Apple and many others have been doing for years. With Microsoft on track to its goal of having Windows 10 installed on 1 billion devices in the first 24 months, I'm sure they have little interest in your holiday snaps or the letter you wrote in protest about your parking ticket 3 years ago. In fact, your Tesco Club card collects more information specific to you personally than Windows 10 does. So in conclusion, I like Windows 10. I use it on all my computers. I feel Microsoft have listened to the people who actually be using it and not just a small group of us geeks. It also feels like it has some longevity and it's versatile across all the devices. And that's about all I've got to say on it, unless anybody has a question. Craig, thank you.
What would you say to somebody who doesn't like how it automatically installs Candy Crush Saga onto your PC?
Uninstall it. That simple.
It has been very naughty though.
The way that they did this automatically forcing people to upgrade from Windows 7
Completely.
is just...
My father-in-law went to bits.
It's not
He said, my
right.
computer doesn't work anymore, look at it.
It's not right, and they're being sued right left and centre, and I hope it costs them a lot of money for doing that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my husband can write his letter.
I don't think he's going to get very far writing his letter on his particular right of Windows 7, but yeah, the way that they forced that update through, or worded him out, they're not doing it anymore, but that was just not nice. It's just not a good way. It almost seems desperate, and you don't have to be desperate with it because it's a good operating system.
And they would have an awful lot more sense if they put up a warning notice saying if you want to switch your computer off, you no longer have to go to the top right-hand corner, you can go down to the bottom left.
Well, that's where it
that
was
might
with
confuse
Windows
an
7.
awful lot of people.
It is sort of approximately in the same place it was with 7 because basically nobody liked Windows 8.
No. So that's, so right, when you do
No,
get
I mean,
it-
I don't, I'm not a Windows user.
No.
I'm a Mac user. But we've got a computer with Windows 8 on it, and we want to sell it. It's almost brand new.
Well, if it's to sell it, I would almost definitely
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it will just, you know, it will just be worth more, basically.
Yeah. And
But
it uses
all
less
these
as
things I'm saying about Windows 10 are very much applicable for the last update, which was El Capitan, and the forthcoming update, Sierra. most of the update is in fact security related.
Right.
So oh no, I don't want to do it. It's not the wisest of moves. I mean,
Yeah.
to keep them running smoothly, you need to do it.
Yeah.
As long as your computer's of sufficient spec with the Sierra, because they haven't actually released the specs yet.
That is your 10 minutes up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can we have one
Oh,
quick
sorry.
question?
Yeah. I've got a Windows tablet. Do I need to update that? I
Yes.
turned it on in 6 months.
Yes, you do.
Right.
If it is either Windows 7 or Windows 8.
Probably not.
Windows 8.
It is a little bit more fun to do that, but it takes a little bit longer. But no, but it's doable. It's doable.
What if it fits you the V's?
In what way?
It comes up with a blank screen and says you can't upgrade.
Go into your device manager, disable your graphics card, and do your upgrade. Because everyone I've had that said it won't do it is because of some weird NVIDIA card thing. You just disable it. When it does the Windows update, it reinstalls it perfectly well. I don't know why it does it, but everyone I've had has been the graphics card.
Yeah, because the screen's gone blank. The photos I had on the screensaver just disappeared.
Yeah, it's because you tried to do it, but I mean they're still there.
Yeah.
You just need to go in and activate the screensaver. But if you are upgrading to Windows 10, I would wait until after to bog about with that and just go into your device. You know how to get into your device
I
manager.
haven't got a clue. I
I'm always on the end of the phone.
the only thing I know how to use is the cup holder thing.
Yeah. I'm always on the end of the phone.
Love it. Ben, thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.